Andrew Tate's legacy. Internet villain or genius entrepreneur? What happens when one man becomes the most Googled figure on Earth and the most banned at the same time? Andrew Tate's name isn't just a headline. It's a battleground. To some, he is a fearless entrepreneur who built empires from scratch. To others, he's a manipulator spreading poison through digital veins. His story isn't simple. It's a labyrinth of triumph, scandal, and unanswered questions. Early life and fighting roots. How does a boy raised in hardship carve himself into a world champion fighter? Born in Washington, D.C. in 1986, Andrew Tate grew up with contrasting influences. His father, Andrew Tate, was a brilliant but erratic chess international master. His mother, left to raise Andrew and his siblings in England after the parents split, struggled to keep the family afloat. What drives a teenager to step into the arena of violence? For Tate, kickboxing was not just a sport, it was survival. He trained relentlessly, harnessing anger, discipline, and obsession. The results spoke for themselves. 4 world titles in kickboxing. He had proven his physical dominance, but deep inside, victory in the ring was never enough. Tate wanted immortality, the kind that no belt could offer. The birth of an online persona. What happens when a fighter trades gloves for controversy? Tate's fame grew outside the ring when he entered reality television in 2016 on Big Brother UK. But his stay was short-lived. Controversial videos emerged. Footage of Tate striking a woman. He claimed it was consensual roleplay. Producers didn't wait to verify. He was thrown out. Was this humiliation or the birth of a new character? For Tate, it was fuel. If mainstream TV didn't want him, the internet would. He sharpened a new weapon: provocation. With Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, Tate built a persona of brash masculinity and ruthless ambition. He didn't chase approval. He thrived on outrage. His digital stage was set. But how do you transform shame into spectacle? Tate understood something most didn't. In the digital age, outrage spreads faster than applause. He knew that every scandal, every insult, every viral clip was not destruction, but distribution. What others feared, Tate embraced. Where influencers polished their images to please, Tate lit fires to provoke. Where others begged for followers, he demanded loyalty. And where others avoided conflict, he made it his brand. Each tweet, each video, each rant carried a message beneath the chaos. It wasn't just about shock value, it was about power. Tate learned that attention, whether positive or negative, was the only real currency online. He became fluent in a language few could master, the language of disruption. The language of clicks, shares, and headlines. Every cancellation made him stronger. Every backlash expanded his reach. But could a man live forever as a villain online? Tate was willing to try. He didn't just want a seat at the table. He wanted to flip the table and make the world watch. The Hustlers University era. How do you turn controversy into cash? By 2019, Tate had launched Hustlers University. The pitch was simple yet seductive. Financial freedom, side hustles, crypto, copywriting, e-commerce. Thousands of young men subscribed, paying monthly fees. But they weren't just buying lessons. They were buying into a vision of power. Why did his voice cut through the noise? Because Tate's message tapped into something raw. He spoke to men who felt overlooked. Adrift in a society where ambition seemed punished, masculinity mocked, and success unreachable. His philosophy was half self-help, half battle cry. To his followers, he was a mentor. To his critics, a dangerous manipulator monetizing desperation. The internet villain. When does a mentor become a menace? Tate's soundbites were designed to shock. Women belong in the home. Depression isn't real. Success excuses arrogance. These clips, spread by his own affiliates, flooded TikTok and Instagram. By 2022, he wasn't just an influencer. He was the most searched man alive. But his fame without consequence? His words didn't just exist online. Teachers reported young boys parroting his beliefs in classrooms, treating girls as lesser, mocking depression, dismissing vulnerability. Parents and activists sounded alarms. To many, Tate wasn't a coach, but a corrupter, shaping the next generation with fire and venom. The global ban. What happens when the entire internet tries to erase you? In August 2022, the hammer dropped. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok all banned Andrew Tate in unison. His digital empire was wiped overnight. For most, that would mean silence. For Tate, it became a war cry. Does censorship kill or crown kings? Instead of fading, he rose higher. Tate framed the bans as proof of his matrix theory, a system run by elites terrified of truth. His followers agreed. To them, he wasn't silenced, he was martyred. Every ban only deepened their loyalty. Every takedown confirmed his prophecy. The villain had become a legend. But the internet is a hydra. Cut one head, and 10 more appear. Clips of Tate flooded TikTok through fan pages. His speeches spread faster underground than they ever did officially. What was meant to be an ending became fuel for a movement. Censorship gave him the crown of rebellion, and in that crown, he found immortality. Arrest and allegations. But what happens when digital storms spill into real-world crime? December 2022, Romanian police stormed Tate's luxury compound. Headlines screamed, human trafficking, rape, organized crime. His Bugattis and Lamborghinis were seized as proof of ill-gotten wealth. The spectacle was global. Does scandal destroy or cement myths? Tate denied everything, calling it a political conspiracy. From a Romanian prison cell, he wrote cryptic letters, presenting himself as a man crucified by corrupt powers. Detractors called it classic misdirection. Followers saw it as the ultimate battle of one man versus the system. Each court hearing became less about facts and more about narrative. The cult of Tate. Why do men cling so fiercely to him? Because Tate doesn't just sell courses, he sells belonging. In his world, every man can be a warrior, every struggle a path to dominance. He positions himself as a digital father figure in a world where many fathers are absent. His podcasts and clips offer certainty in a culture drowning in doubt. But does devotion come at a cost? Critics argue that this isn't empowerment, it's indoctrination. Vulnerable young men, desperate for meaning, are recruited into his worldview. A world where women are tools, vulnerability is weakness, and aggression is survival. His brilliance lies not just in what he says, but in how he binds his audience with identity. Entrepreneur or manipulator. So is he a visionary or a predator? There's no denying Tate's entrepreneurial genius. From casinos in Romania to multi-million-dollar online platforms, he has mastered the art of monetizing attention. In an economy where clicks are currency, he became a billionaire of outrage. But does genius absolve responsibility? His critics argue he built wealth by exploiting insecurities and amplifying misogyny. His defenders insist he exposes hard truths about society's decline. Perhaps the line between genius and villain isn't fixed, it shifts with perspective. And Tate thrives in that blur. How will history remember Andrew Tate? For some, he will remain a pioneer who defied censorship, empowered men, and created financial blueprints. For others, he will be etched in history as a toxic influencer whose rhetoric harmed countless young minds. His story isn't over. His trial, his bans, his battles, all are chapters still being written. But can one man truly own his legacy? In the digital age, legacies are shaped not by books, but by algorithms. Every viral clip, every hashtag, every debate writes part of his history. Tate mastered this game, but control is never absolute. He is both author and prisoner of his own myth. So who is Andrew Tate? Visionary entrepreneur or internet villain? The truth may lie in contradiction. He is both, the fighter who refused to lose, the marketer who turned controversy into currency, the outlaw who thrives on being hated. His story is not a straight line, but a mirror, reflecting the chaos of our times. And maybe the real question isn't about him at all. Maybe it's about us. Why we made him famous, why we spread his words, why we fight about his meaning. Andrew Tate may fade or he may endure. But one thing is certain, the world will not forget his name. If you've been drawn into the mystery of his rise and downfall, stay with us. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon, so you don't miss the next chapter in the saga of power, influence, and controversy.